Hi, Ruth.
Hi, Garry.
So, I know you've had a chance to talk to you and a bit of your incredible story, but for those who don't know you, let's start off with why we're talking. You had a diagnosis recently. What was that?
Yes, I had a diagnosis last November of brain tumor, and it started off with a seizure. And then I went to hospital, and they found this brain tumor. And then I got medicated, and every bit of my being just fought it all. Said I'm not having this, and didn't want to accept it, and why me, and just all the stories that we go into, victim mode, because I'm always been, driving and I'm in control. And so I stopped the medications, everything.
So
And
you,
then I thought I was good again.
so you were, this was last November.
Yes,
So were you scared?
no. Because I've sort of done fascial maneuvers. I started them July last year, and I just always knew that there's something much bigger at work than myself. And to me, it was actually a blessing. Well, after I went through the initial stages, it was fascial maneuvers released the trauma, and that was the trauma trying to come out.
So you saw this
So,
as your body getting rid of something that was already
yes,
there,
yes, because they said it's been there for years. So
right?
obviously something triggered it, and it's coming out. Then I went through the stage, obviously the medical system, nothing against the medical system. They're here, they try to do the best they can, but they don't look at the metaphysical aspects, not just duck straight into that, repressed emotions, trauma withheld, and through the fascial maneuvers, it's come out. Even now, over those last few months, I just seen all these memories that just pop in.
So
But
what do you think the memories have to do with the trauma and the diagnosis of cancer?
because they were suppressed, they're stuck in the body, and they didn't have a chance to get out. And through the maneuvers, it's like you're opening a valve or a tap, and then they start to come out.
So when you say suppressed emotions, what were the emotions that were suppressed? Like where did this all start that you remember, or do you remember?
Um, if I can go back just even to a year ago, this 9 woman, we got together and we're writing a book. So it's actually in the final stages to print it, and mine was all about sexual abuse. So obviously I dived deep into that while I was doing it maneuvers, which obviously was at the forefront. And again, it's just all part of it's like this explosion. The body just said, yes, yes, get all this stuff out. And
So, and this was a abuse from, was it from a family member or?
yeah, but there were 3 different men that sexually abused me over a period of years.
When did
Again,
it,
I just
when did it
shut it
start?
down. Sorry.
When did it start?
Well, as far as I can remember, because when the memories come up, I was 30 years old and my daughter was 4 years old, and she was sitting on her grandfather's knees. And it was literally like this, I can't explain it any different way. It's just like this light bulb moment. I saw myself in my 4-year-old daughter. And I just remember ripping her off his knees and running into our bedroom and curling up in a fetal position with her in my arms. And she just looked at me, had no idea what's going on.
So
And
this was a memory as an adult
yes,
at 30 that was
yes,
suppressed, and
yes,
that memory is of when you were 4 years old.
yes, yes.
Wow. I mean, did it did it come with like graphics, or did it come with a feeling, or?
Well, it's sort of, I'm sort of trying to go back there. I can still feel all the feelings, but I can't really see the graphics. But I just literally
Yeah,
saw me again. How do you explain that? Not as graphic, but there's this, my
yeah,
whole body was just screaming. And I saw myself in my own daughter.
right. Well,
And
I'll tell you from my own personal experience is that I was helping somebody with a case of molestation. And and this is just actually a year and a half ago. And in helping them and talking about it, it triggered something in me. So I'm asking because in my own way, I've had a very similar, experience. And it was I would describe it the same way you did. It was like a memory that I could see, but once I saw it, I only saw it for a second. And then I just knew I didn't need to see it again.
Yeah, once you know, because there's another incident when I was probably about 12 years old, and I can still see the whole scene. I can see the house, the building, everything, where everything was. And asked we're going to be with this man, and then nothing. It's blank. But I knew there was something there because it was so traumatic. Obviously, my body just tried to protect me, or my subconscious tried to protect me. So I've been doing a lot of meditation, just sitting in stillness, and I kept asking my body, show me, just show me. And again, it's like this flesh, just subconscious mind literally opened up, and I saw that I had been raped.
And was this at 30 years old still?
No, that just happened about a month ago.
Oh,
When I
but
said
I mean
deeply,
the memory was
oh, the memory, that's been there. Yeah.
yeah,
Because then I started digging, and from 30 years old, I started
right.
digging.
So one released the other. So I had the same thing.
Yes.
I had one
Yeah.
memory, which then led me to have a series of understandings about another memory.
Yes.
And and I had two caregivers involved. And I'm still not sure of the entire relationship, but I was very, very clear.
Yeah. And it's amazing. And then, I went back through my married life, and why did I behave the way I did? And now it makes all sense. It's just all the trauma that was just so suppressed.
So what kind of
And
behavior did that cause in your interactions with people, especially I guess with men? What was the behavior or through your married life that you're talking about?
yeah, well, the set often was drawn, very, very, yeah, it was drawn, and if something got a bit too much, I would just leave, literally would leave the room, because something was just felt really overwhelming, and I just couldn't be in that presence. So, but to me, it was just how I just reacted. But again, now I'm looking back into all those behaviors and literally disbanding it all, and I'm writing and now it makes sense. It just
Right.
literally makes sense.
So and I can also relate to the same feeling where mine was 4 years old, and I could now make sense of the way that I acted in certain things in my life with people in my life.
Yes, yes. And I just thought, oh, well, that's just the way I am. And then I thought, hang on, that's Mr. On the music, that's programming, old stories, old narrative. And it's all through fascial maneuvers. And, listening to you, I mean, I listen stuff, that you put up every day and done all your life. And I've done the 28-day reset a few times, Lifestyle Artist Program 1, and it really dig deeper and deeper. And now it's all making sense. It's all coming together.
Oh.
And I know I'm not mad.
I mean, I guess in the same way, that's my story. I mean, there's a lot of people that I see now that I've talked to that are having repressed memories come up, trauma events come up. And,
Yeah.
My belief is that the body stores those memories, and they store the memories until we can process them. And that's what trauma is. I have to have the ability in my life, stress-wise, to process the trauma. Otherwise, the brain protects us from the memory. And then as soon as I started unraveling all of the stress in my life, then the memories started coming up. And for me, it was memories of things I had done wrong, things that had been done wrong to me, physical injuries, and they sequentially came back up, almost in the order that they happened, with the exception of the sexual abuse, which waited almost to the end.
Isn't that amazing? Again, the body's just been trying to protective, and it's been protecting me as well. But now I'm ready to feel it all. And like I said, even the last 2 or 3 months, I don't think I've ever cried as much as I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I've sort of been waking up. Oh, it's getting a bit better now. But again, because a lot of stuff had to come out, I would wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock sometimes, 3 o'clock, just poof, I'm awake. And I was just riding, just get all this stuff out of me. And then I would go back to sleep again sometimes. And it just what was in me. It's like this, everything just been held in, and it's ready now to all come out. And everybody's holding on to traumas. I've seen it in my yoga classes, and people try to suppress themselves. And, oh, no, I don't want to feel. Oh, no, I don't want to go there because it hurts. And then because now I'm aware of that, and I just look around at people, and, you know, even at their physical symptoms, oh, well, we'll just put a Band-Aid on it because it's painful. I don't want to feel it. And I don't want to do that. I want to feel everything.
So,
because to me, it comes.
So that's, I mean, that's a pretty radical statement for most people. Say, I want to feel everything. And you're right, most people don't want to feel. So let's go back to, because we have I have a good sense now of what it was that caused the memory. There was a cancer that was already there that you became aware of as you started removing the trauma. Any regrets of becoming aware of it?
No, none at all. I'm actually, well, I said that first, the start, yeah, I thought, why me? And then I thought, hang on, I heard this little voice. Why not you? Why not you?
Wow.
And I literally, well, when it happened the second time, I literally, again, I can't explain this, whether you call it divine or God or whatever. I don't want to name it, because as soon as you name something, you've lost it. Again, it's just this feeling, it's this inner knowing, this inner standing. And it was just like, I have a task for you. Again, I'm not attached to it. I'm not attached to the outcome, but I'm just here to show up to the best of my ability. Not right or wrong. But again, at the end of the day, this is a soul level journey, and I want to have my soul to be pure and clean when she leaves.
So you were given the diagnosis, and they prescribed treatment. What was the treatment they prescribed?
Well, the first time ever that they gave me stuff, you know, for the seizures, and, you know, but then I started feeling good and took my life back, because again, I fought it. Yep, I've got this. And then again, the divine said, no, you're not in control. Up to a certain point, I feel like I'm in control, but overall, I'm not in control. And then I just surrendered. But okay.
So they started giving you seizure medication. Did they do any treatment for the brain tumor?
Well, they talked about it, but because that was before Christmas, I had a PET scan, and that showed, because they put this sugary dye into your arm, and the neurosurgeon said if something shows up on that brain scan, he said, you will have an operation before Christmas. And there was nothing. He said, nothing showing up. And he said he felt quite confident. He said, we'll just leave it. We'll just monitor it. And so I'm just going by that. But then when I had my second one, then they said, oh, let's do another MRI. It was my right side of my brain. It's swelling, with a bit of swelling in it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I just kept asking my body, okay, what does this show me? What else I need to learn out of this? Again, like I said, I surrendered.
Is there any symptoms that have been going along with it, either then and now?
No, not really. Like I said, I felt actually really good after the first time I took my life back. I started driving again, because they said you can't drive when you had a seizure. So I'm putting it all out there. But anyway, well, because like I said, we are in control up to certain degrees. And then when I had the second hit, I'm actually I sold my car, and it catapulted me into a whole lot of other things, because I'm actually returning back to Switzerland, not forever, because all my family's over there. Mum's 90, and then I told her that I could feel something shifted in her too, and I feel she's been waiting for me.
Right.
She's been waiting. She's been waiting. Got 4 sisters.
We're
really close.
Does your mom have a sense of what you're going through?
A little bit, I think, but she's been medicated as well. Depression. She's been suffering. I don't want to say suffering again, because she doesn't want to feel for years.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we were little kids, Mum was on antidepressants.
Mm-hmm.
And she sort of knows, all my past, because I tried to talk to them. I went back to Switzerland when I was 30 years old, tried to not blame them for anything, but just talk to my parents, and they didn't want to know it. And that's okay. I understand that. I'll work through all the forgiveness and the love, and because they didn't know any better. And I've been sitting with that too, and they had these visions again. I saw my grandma, my mum's mum. I saw her in a vision, but she went through. And some people may say, well, you're crazy, you're making it up. But when it's just in the knowing.
So is it your intention going back to have a conversation about this, or is it just for you?
I'm not sure. Maybe even just being in presence. Just being in presence. Because your mum's already worried. She said to one of my sisters, I hope your mum's, Ruth is not coming back to try and bring up old stuff.
So
with my sister, my favorite sister.
Your mom knows. Yeah. Your mom knows.
Yes. She knows. And maybe we don't need to have a conversation as much as I'd love to, because my sister.
Do you have any anger?
No, actually, because I've been doing the organ reset twice a day, and I'll tell you, my liver has been crunchy. And about a week ago, I went in there and said, oh my God. And I just cried these joyous tears, because he's smooth and he's soft.
And then for those people who don't understand what that means to us, it means that there's anger, your liver, and it was crunchy. That's the anger. Well, somewhere along the line, you've passed through that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I had tears of joy. Even now I'm touching it, and it just feels, because when you used to talk about even your arms and stuff feels all soft, and then I've still got a long way to go, but my organs, it started there.
Do you want to do something with me right now?
Yes, please.
I think because people, when they watch this, there's a lot of emotion that comes through this. Yes. And the reason why we're talking about this is because even like when I talked about my abuse, it brought healing, because so many other people then started to process their own. So let's do a liver reset. We'll take a right hand. We're going to put it right hand on the right rib cage right underneath there. Yeah. And the left hand behind. And let's breathe into the mouth 3 times. Two. 3. To the nose. 2. 3. Thank you, anger and resentment.
Thank you, anger and resentment.
For being a part of my life.
For being a part of my life.
For protecting me and putting me into action.
Protecting me and putting me into action.
When I wasn't ready to do it myself.
When I wasn't ready to do it myself.
I no longer need you to be notifying me this way.
I no longer need you to notify me this way.
I'm paying attention now.
I'm paying attention now.
I'm letting this part of me go.
I'm letting this part of me go.
Okay. So I had was helping somebody just before an hour before, and the reason I asked for extra time is because I was in one of the most angry states I could imagine over helping somebody. They triggered it anger in me. I won't say they made me angry because I have to have it in order for me to go. And it was unusual because I couldn't piece together why I was there, and now I'm sitting here talking to you, and I can go back and piece together why that experience just happened for me. It was bizarre. It was almost like I was helping somebody through a massive scoliosis, and she was being very demanding and telling me basically what to do or not to do. And I was getting more frustrated, and I was calming down, calming down, calming down. And I believe that now when I talk to you, I believe you're helping me. And that's my core belief, is that when I work with you or help you or I sit here with you, I'm looking at a piece of me that has the same thing inside of me. And I went upstairs and I was all I slept for a little bit and I was confused as to why I was feeling this way. I didn't even put together the fact that we were going to talk about this. I mean, I knew that I had the meeting, but I didn't put it together. So I was processing some anger out of my body that needed to pass out. And we were supposed to have this meeting a couple times. And I went through a personal reset yesterday. It was intense with Dr. Nick from Essential Oil Wizardry. He took me through I think it's called Rapé journey. And it was one of the most intense things that I've ever experienced. And it was purging to finish one thing and move on with another. And here we are. Our meeting serendipitously got moved to today.
Yes, again, it's what you call divine, whatever, knew exactly when we needed to have this meeting.
Right. So
There are never any mistakes.
so what do you think about, first of all, are you doing any treatment other than taking care of yourself holistically?
Well, at the moment, I'm just, I'm still taking the medication, but I can see it's obviously every medication has side effects, but because I'm middle of June, I'm going back to Switzerland, so obviously I want to keep everything under control and then
Right.
just go from there.
So you've accepted the care or the treatment from the allopathic side. Is it something you're going to continue, or do you think this is something you're going to do through Switzerland, or?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure yet. Like I said, at this stage, for me, it's just getting back to Switzerland for now. And it's just connecting back with my family, because my favorite sister, she's all into, she goes deep as well into the spiritual, holistic, metaphysical aspect. And she's got a beautiful place that I can just be and connect.
But do you think that the anger is directly related in your mind to the cancer?
Well, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be as well, yes, yeah.
Yeah. And then the shame is what kept you from seeing it?
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
And it's just peeling away another layer and peeling away another layer and then another layer and just being in the now. Again, I'm trying to really deeply, deeply connect into just the now moment, because that's all I have.
Yeah.
And that now moment is bliss.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly has a way of sobering. I mean, there's several different journeys I had. And there's certain ways of being forced into the now. Like one of my ways of being forced into the now was when I was put into prison.
Yeah.
And that forced me for 17 months to be with nobody really, but
Yeah.
but me and a doctor at one point, which helped me understand a lot, a neurologist and chiropractor. But it forced me to be there. Like I couldn't be anywhere else. I couldn't go anywhere else. I couldn't be anywhere else. And it was my prison in a way. If I say it that way, does that sound kind of like what you were going through?
Yes, because I actually think about you often, when you talk about this story, and even sometimes, and I just said whether you call it meditation or whatever, I actually see you being in the present, writing down 1,000 reasons why you're there. You have no idea. I'm so deeply connected to you, and I often watch, even just little reels and that, and I see you helping people with maneuvers, and tears just flow because I have this deep connection to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
As if I've been
Some way that
anytime.
made me very emotional when you said that. Because
Yeah.
I guess in your own way, you're writing all the reasons why it's good for you. You're doing that
Yes.
daily, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling people about Human Garage often, and some are just, they're not ready, and that's okay. I'm not pushing myself on anybody. I'll just give them the link. Say, look up Human Garage. Just say it just about every day to people, and it's okay. They're not ready yet. And
So do you think about death?
I'll say that people are not ready, or
No, for yourself. Do you think about death?
yes, yeah.
What does that thought feel like? Is it
So you mean when
is
I
it
do it? Sorry, I'm a bit.
no, but for yourself, do you think about it? Do you think about this could be my time? Is that
Oh, how do you mean my time to exit?
yeah. I mean the question when it comes up in our society today, there's such a lot of fear around it, and I've worked with so many people myself who are close to me over the years who had a diagnosis, and there's like this moment I had the thought, oh, and I like no, I don't want to feel that, or I don't want to think about that, and I'm just wondering, in your own body, does that happen?
No, not at the moment. No, again, because when I had the second, it's quite a big seizure. Like I said, I saw something, and I still have a mission for you to do.
So yeah, so there's something that was connected in the experience that brought you past the fear of the experience.
Yes, yeah, like I said, there's no fear.
Okay.
And I'm letting go of the outcome. I said I'm here to do the best I can for however long this, because at the end of the day, there's no time. We
Well,
all have to go one
I think
day.
it's fair to say that letting go of the outcome, if I have a expectation of the outcome and I
Yep.
hold it, that is a fear. So you're letting go, you've let go of the fear of the experience to say,
Yes,
whatever the outcome is, I'm here for the journey.
that's right. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to die one day, whether it's 3 years old to whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it, because you cling on, because we're so afraid. So many people are afraid of death.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
are you afraid of death?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Do you want to
Because
live more?
yes, yes, because like I said, I still have a mission.
Okay, good.
Even just 2 days
You
ago,
know,
I
and
said,
I can tell you from talking to literally thousands of people that are going through this transition period. There's a there's a certain energy that goes along with somebody who's about to pass, and I don't feel that with you right now.
yeah,
And the energy is of quite often is of fighting. I'm going to
mhm,
do everything. I'm going to,
yeah,
and it's like, it's not that they're doing things, it's that they have this energy that they are. I sent a very, very close, uh, somebody's very close to me recently, went through it, and I had a conversation 2 weeks before she passed. And what I, what I found in that conversation was that that was her time for giving up, but it was, yeah, it was at the very, very end, like clinically, medically, symptoms are there, and coughing and stuff like that. So it was like giving up almost at the wrong time or the perfect time, I guess. But it was giving up at a time when, and accepting the experience when she's ready to pass. And that's okay. And she did. But I feel you saying to me that it's not that I don't want to pass, it's that I have things I want to do.
Yes.
It's like I don't got time for this.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
But I needed this wake-up call. Literally, it's a wake-up call because I was holding on to so much, old stuff, trauma, and now I'm looking at everything because I got into the metaphysical. This body keeps the score, and body remembers everything. So it's for me to share that with others. I just did my last yin yoga class the other day, and this lady came up to me, and she didn't come very often, but I could feel her pain because she goes to the gym and smashes herself at the gym, and she came up to me at the end and tears rolling down her face, and she thanked me so very much. And I said, stop running. And more tears come. Said, I can feel you, but just stop running.
So you could
So,
feel,
yeah,
you could feel a
just
part
doesn't
of,
want to feel.
was that a part of you before that was doing that?
Yes. Yeah, and I told her, I
So
said, I did that too. I used to go run marathons and go to the gym and have all these hard workouts because I did not want to feel.
yeah, you're running from something. That's what you're saying.
Yes,
Stop running from something. So that was
yes,
definitely a part of you that came back to
yes,
visit. So
yes,
in my personal
yes,
experience and my transformation through is every time I was about to go through a journey, like a transformation in my life, a part of the old me would visit me in some way. It's like somebody would come in
yes,
as a messenger. And
yes,
and it was, and I believe that we have an experience or we're in a situation, we get through a situation, but it doesn't complete until I see other people with that same issue, whatever it is. And I help them through it. And then I get the completion of the learning or of the experience.
yes, yes. And what she does with that now, it's just beautiful. We just hugged each other. I mean, we just had tears, and yeah, it was like a completion because
Have
I
you ever
started to
have
see
you ever had
myself in
something
other.
like that happen before?
No, because the more I do it, the more I see myself in other people, and that's it. It all started with you.
So how long has this been going on where people have been coming up to you like this and either saying things or triggering things or bringing these experiences that,
Well, probably sort of when I started Human Garage, and I'm also since this little gift, but just here is a gift. But
you know what?
I just,
I thank you for saying that because
yeah,
it is a gift. Um, it's a gift to feel alive because there's a part of me when I don't remember a situation or choose not to. That's a part of me that's no longer living. That's trying to be
yes,
alive. And it's not a bad thing. It's just something that if I don't process that, that's like a part of me I'm ignoring. And if I ignore it long enough, well, that's what
yes,
happened for me is I ignored it long enough and it tore up my life, my relationships, my marriages, my
yeah,
family life, my personal health.
yeah. No, I've done all that too. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's sort of like coming full circle. And yeah, going to Switzerland. I mean, yeah, my kids, it was a bit hard there because they thought I was going to be gone forever. But I said, no, no, I'll be back. But this is just part of my journey, as hard as it is for the kids. I mean, they're all growing and have their own lives, but this is something that I need to do for myself.
Hmm. Has it, is this different? What your actions you're taking right now, is this a different Ruth than the Ruth that was existing 2 years or 5 years or 10 years
Oh,
ago?
yes. Yes. Yeah.
How is it different today? Like, how are you different today? What are, if you were to sum it up 30 years from now and look back and say, that version of Ruth, that storyline of Ruth was this today, but used to be that over there 10 years ago. What would you say?
Um, Probably more more awake, again, more aware of my body and feelings, and also feeling other people more. I just feel like more connected. Again, that might sound a bit out there, like even with nature,
So
like I really,
basically you're saying this version of Ruth is connected to other people. The other version of Ruth
yes,
wasn't connected.
yeah, yes. Like literally, I can go up now I can go up to a tree now. Again, I might sound a bit woo, but I can put my hand on a tree and I can feel that energy pulsating through my whole body.
So you're saying in our current political social state that you're a tree hugger.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because they are living beings and they actually
So
crave.
so you feel what you're saying, what I hear you saying is that you can feel the life in other people now or other things.
Yes.
Yeah. And isn't that the truth? If I can't feel the life in other people, I can only feel in other people what I recognize in myself.
That's it.
So, so conversely, you're saying is that you can now feel life in others because you feel life in you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And even though, I mean, I used to walk barefoot all the time, but now I can just feel so much more. If I don't do it I mean, I've got ground daily and always, said, oh, this is so important, this is so good. But now I'm feeling it even more. As soon as I put my feet on the earth, again, it's just this. You explain it, this energy, you just feel it, it just comes up my whole body. And often I just tears because I feel so deeply connected to nature. And I
Hmm.
see energy. I mean, it's look out there. I literally see all these, they're like little stars, like flickers, because everything is energy.
So your birthday is when for people?
6th of January.
And your degree is?
Oh, hang on. There it is. Master level, step 21.
Mm-hmm.
Some,
So Sagittarius 21 is feel my heart and believe. And Sagittarius is about, now you are a Capricorn, but you're a Sagittarius version of Capricorn, which is Capricorn is karmic. Capricorns are there to show us the the way. And Sagittarius is the adventurer, the explorer, the learner who shares with others. Does that sound like you?
oh, yeah, no, it's beautiful. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I know it deep down at my core. I always felt it and knew it. But again, because I suppressed it, that I feel deeply that I'm a spiritual healer.
Yeah. So physician heal thyself is where we're at.
Mhm.
Yeah. 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 I really resonate with that, this part of your journey.
Yeah.
Because it's for me, I've had multiple deaths. I mean, just death of ego, death of self, death of pride. And I got I got all 20 of them. They just kind of stacked up.
Yes.
And I just went through a transition 2 days ago, ironically, with Dr. Nick. And I didn't expect that. I, I really didn't. But he's a Capricorn.
Mhm.
And he was there to show me the way. It's funny because we were, the whole group of people were around, and he comes up and he has the rapé, and he's like, so who are you doing that with? And he goes, well, Garry. In his way, he goes, I, I'm kind of feeling you. And I did. I'm going to publish the video of it. It was intense, the experience.
Yeah.
And I want people to see because I accepted and welcomed that. And it was 2 days before I talked to you. And I feel more appropriately talking to you today after that experience too.
Yeah. Like I said, there's never any mistakes. It's all divinely guided, even if it doesn't make sense to us. Because our ego, we think we're in control.
Do you think other people, though, that may be watching this, do you think that they sense that yet? Generally, from what you see in people?
I don't know. Some people may resonate with this and others may not. And that's okay. Again, I'm okay with that. I'm okay to share my story with
People around you get mad when you
not.
made your decisions?
Oh, no, not mad. even my, well, in my
Scared?
daughter.
Yeah.
I think my daughter, I'm not put it out there whether she'll see this or not. Yes, she comes from fear.
Yeah.
She said, I'm not ready to lose you yet. I said, Kate, you're not going to lose me.
Wow,
Not
that's a
using
tough, that's even tough to hear. It's like, I'm not ready to lose you yet. Well, I'm right here.
Yes, you're not losing me.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there
Yeah.
because you never, even if we're gone, like I've been talking to my dad, he's passed, and I hear him, I feel him, because when you tap into that energy, because energy cannot be destroyed nor created, it just changes form, and you can tap into that at any time, anywhere.
So now that your dad's passed, what do you feel about your experiences?
That's it. There's nothing to be afraid of. Because I feel now when we think we died, it's actually a birth. Because I've seen, now I'm sort of becoming more aware, and that I've seen,
That
but
the
even
birth,
before
that
I
the
had
birth that we
this,
say birth is actually a death of spirit
yes,
to be human, and
yes,
then you actually have a death of human to be spirit again. Is that an act?
yes, because
That's it.
we are spiritual, energetic beings. And I've seen a few people pass, and I've seen their spirit leave.
Yeah.
Again, I can't explain how, but I
Yeah,
saw it.
I went through an experience 3 years ago with where somebody told me about holding their father in their arms as they passed, and I felt this moment, this curiosity that almost not jealousy, but it was like a longing to have that experience.
Yeah.
And then a week to that day, which was the Lionsgate portal, our Jason, passed in my arms and had a death experience, and then made a choice to come back. And and I was so agitated by the fact that I thought I had made that experience because I had wanted it. And I blamed myself for it for a while. And I was like, whoa, I was like, my thoughts, because I had the thought I wanted to happen, and 7 days to the hour, to the day and hour, it happened. And I've had enough experiences in my life now to going through with things that even when I was in prison, to realizing that I had known that I was going there, and even feared it. And all the way to 5 years old, I have memories of the memory is what is of seeing a prison transport van and going, "Ooh, fearful." And I can tell you hundreds of times in my life where I saw it, remember it clearly. It seems like a random thing. It's like you see things drive by or pass by all the time. And just before I was arrested, I had a prison transport van that drove by me, and I'm in the truck with my kids, and I pulled over a couple lanes. And so there's this awareness that something was coming. Do you connect with that yourself?
Not as such, but yeah, I don't know. I just know that I'm always free. Whatever happens, I'm always free. So I don't really actually think that something's coming.
No, I meant from in your earlier, before you had the awakening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is all before. That was my awakening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
going to prison was because I was looking at the time, I was looking at 40 to 80 years.
Yeah. Not
And
I think so.
that's a reality. Like, doesn't matter
Yeah.
right or wrong. It's a US
Oh,
flag.
yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether I did or didn't. I knew that I was no longer in charge. I knew
Yeah.
that I had no way to fight anymore. I couldn't negotiate.
Yeah.
All I could do at this point was accept and find a
Yeah.
way through.
Yeah. But I think I was back then. I was asleep. I was sort of I sort of look back at my old life. I was very well asleep and just doing day to day, because you're on a dairy farm and you just get so caught up in work and just doing and not even feeling, and it's all about doing.
And you're a Capricorn, so Capricorns are all about doing. Capricorns are always doing, they're always
Well,
busy.
that's
They have
it.
list upon list
Yes,
upon list, and they're always figuring it out.
yes, yes. I mean, I can look back, when I left my husband at the time, everybody thought it was the wrong thing to do. But if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be sitting right here and talking to you, because in a lot of ways I would still be in that old version of me, because I sort of never really spoke my truth and didn't speak up, and all those experiences have brought me to here.
So do you feel that, like, if you were to look at this from a grand perspective, like you're a soul in heaven or another place of being, you're an energy of spirit, you came here. If you could grab the experience and say, this is what the experience that I wanted to have in this lifetime was this, what do you think that experience would be right now? What do you
Exactly as it
perceive?
happened. Exactly as it happened. That's the thing. I wouldn't change anything, because they were all learning experiences that I
Sure,
needed to
sure.
have.
Those, I mean, but you're in the learning experience. So if you extract yourself out and you look back at it, like,
Yes.
was it, well, let me give you a word. Was it compassion? Was it judgment? Is there anything like thematically in the experience of your past that you can point to right now, that you can look at it, separating yourself from it and say, okay, I've
Yeah.
gone back to heaven, whenever that is, whether it's a week, a year, 100 years. I mean, today, the way that things are going, you're probably looking at 100 years, so 100, 150 years. So at that point, you cross over to the other side and you look
Yeah.
back at it. What do you think the experience, or this part of the experience, thematically was for you?
So love just comes into my mind.
Love.
Always is a love. Yeah.
So it's a love, and I guess love to you would be like, how do you, so let me ask you then, what is love to you? Like, how do you define love?
Um, compassion comes in as well, and the love. Yeah, how do you explain love? Again, it's a feeling, it's a knowing, it's even an emotion,
Could it be trust?
and trust and empathy. It's just removing all the. I mean, what's the opposite of love? To me, it's actually probably the opposite is, don't use the word hate, but probably anger comes in there,
Yeah, anger and judgment.
because there's no
Because
bad emotion.
if I remove judgment, I don't then by default I express love and care.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah. So because if I remove a judgment, there's the other word, which is acceptance.
yes,
So
yeah,
do you feel that that's been your journey for the,
yes, yep, just accepting, yes.
yeah,
But again, and that took a while, especially if I get back to my sexual abuse and that, because I've got 4 sisters, and there's 3 of us that were subjected to that, and the other 2 weren't. And I used to think, well, why did that happen to me? But again, it's just because my soul chose to go through this experience.
did the abuse happen to other ones or just you?
And then 2 of my other sisters, and again, that's another reason.
Okay,
Not a reason, but
so do you feel in some way that you're either that you're going first, or that you are taking a bit of the headwind away to help them?
yeah, because that's another reason I'm going home, because especially my sister, my favorite sister, she said, I've been missing you for 40 years. And we'll be talking about that too, because, I used to go home for holidays, maybe 3 weeks or something. And you can't really have these deep conversations and talk about that. And so I'm looking forward to, just talking to her and my other sister. But I did try when I was 30 years old, when all this came up. I actually went home, and one sister said, "No, no, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to talk about this." And
so it's like this. There's a part of them that is even consciously aware that there's this issue, and they choose to
Yep.
ignore the issue. But you
Yep.
you were like that though, right? For a while.
Yeah, well, until those memories came back, I just
Yeah.
didn't remember. Like I just had it all locked away until the subconscious mind opened.
So do you think that they remember, or they don't want to talk about something in case they do?
Well, they do remember because, like I said, I went back to Switzerland then and not confront them, but just talk about it. And so my older sister, my favorite one, she knows, she remembers, and she says she wants to talk about some of these stuff as well, which will be healing for all of us.
Yeah. Was that
Even, like I said, Mum
so
remembers.
abuse from caregivers? It's it's passed on in some way.
Yeah.
Because it's a cycle, it's a chain. It's like my molestation was also done to my caregiver.
Yes.
Oh, I'll say it, my father. So it was done to him. And
Yeah.
I've worked with thousands of people. It was ironically, I've worked with thousands of people. And I always knew that there was a trigger somewhere along the line, that there was something I was seeking that I didn't know. And it usually came up when I was like in a lot of pain, or in a lot of relief of the pain. Like if I was in a state, like I had euphoric state, sometimes brought out through drugs because I was in so much pain. I would have this there's this thing about it that I couldn't describe, but it wasn't in my conscious life. Like it didn't exist, but it was there and I knew it existed.
Yeah. Well, they say hurt people. But so when I was aware of it, like I said, my daughter was 4, and so I made sure, I felt like it was my mission to stop the cycle of me. And so I talked about to her, this sort of stuff that, if ever anybody would touch her, and that she was aware of all that, even my son. And so I know that she hadn't been subjected to any of that.
Yeah.
So
So basically then the masticization of that is to take it internal.
yes.
Yeah. And so is to take the pain away from others.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so for me, breaking the cycle was to live a different way, but that still created pain in my relationship with my children, because there was this feeling of separation. It was almost like they were trying to tell me something and they didn't know what they're trying to tell me.
Yeah.
And then when I opened up and took that pain, even though I had worked it through my body, I opened up and took the pain of it, through my consciousness, my awareness of it. All of a sudden, my relationships around me started changing. I mean, it took a while. It's I can see them since I was aware of it myself. I can see over the last, I guess it's been 18 months. Hold on, we're going into, was it last year? Yeah, no. Yeah, it's 18 months. No, actually, it's actually a year. It's a year. Oh, hold on a second here. Now that I think about it, it actually might be coming up to a year now. Oh, wow. I am finishing the cycle. That's what it is.
That's amazing.
But I've watched my children change. Like my relationship with them over the last year has changed dramatically. And I've been doing
Yes.
a lot of healing for, since 2018. I mean, since I got out of prison, I've been healing, but since 2018, 2019 is really 2019 is when I really said, okay, I'm done fighting, trying to force myself to heal. I accept everything.
Yeah. And you just open yourself up to, and then magic happens. It's
Yeah.
just not fighting.
Yeah.
Not fighting.
Yeah, and
And
it is magical because the not fighting was, and this is part of the reason why I feel that this mission that we have to help people around the world, why it's growing so
Mhm.
fast, because I'm no longer fighting.
Yeah,
And I also
that's it.
accept, I before I was like, don't you want to get out of pain? And now it's like, yeah, I get it. There's a part of me that completely understands and has more, instead of that desperate, you got to get out. Don't you want to hear me? There's another part of me which is now, okay, I get it. When you're ready, I'm here.
Yeah, we're just having lots of self-compassion.
Yeah.
And I'm still working with my little girl inside of me, and
Yeah. Yeah.
even just that, even just I'm just doing maneuvers all the time, even because I can't drive now. And I'm in the car and I'm doing stuff, and
You
people say,
can't
"What are you
drive, do a
doing?" Because
maneuver.
I just want to,
Well,
but you
yeah.
sit, you,
There's another thing. You and I, yeah,
yeah, you sit there, and
I don't have a
they think,
driver's license. Well, I always joke say it doesn't mean I don't drive. It just I can't drive, but according to
yeah.
them, but every once in a while I do. Yeah,
But I think if people
just
want
in
to
the
know
car.
more, I'm happy to share. And I'm pulling my hair, do all sorts of. What are you doing? I said, "I'm just doing this," and just all you can do is
How do you
plant seeds.
how do you feel in your body today?
Yeah, I feel quite good in my body. Like I said, those medications they obviously have side effects.
Yeah,
I do feel bad because I was just scratched myself the other day, and then all this blood, like the skin came all
yeah. It can't
bloodshot,
the
and
body doesn't want to heal fast enough.
because I think there's what do you call them? There's blood thinners in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, blood thinner in
yeah.
there, and because the thing is, when I started taking the medication, I thought, right, I'm not reading the side effects because then I'm manifesting them.
Mm, true.
And I just talked to my body. I said, do what
Yeah,
you need to do to
there's a
heal me.
positive. There's a positive to pharmacology.
Of
Or because
course.
this is one of the things that happened for me. So is that I used to have this demonization against things I thought weren't good or things I thought were good or
Yes.
bad.
Yeah.
Then when I went through my 40-day 4-day fast, which actually I talked about earlier today, um, I realized in the fast that my addiction was food and my emotions. Well, they're my emotions, but food was the primary drug. And
Mm.
then from there, as I started to unravel that, it allowed me to take away judgment from you know pharmacology, cocaine, heroin, sex, self-mutilation, all the things that we do as human beings to deal with the fact that we are addicted to something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're all
yeah,
addicted
yeah.
to something. I'm addicted to fascial maneuvers. No,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
I
because
just,
it's like when you think about a child, as a child, we're like always playing with
well,
ourselves and
that's
we're
it.
touching our hands and
Yes.
we're experiencing. That's what children do. And
Yes.
and I say it all the time, we're becoming children again.
Yes. Yeah. That's it. That's what I want to do. And just
And I
get out there.
I feel like a child. Like
I
literally feel like a
know
child.
because you start to feel the changes,
Yeah. Yeah,
and you just feel
here I got
so
a little bit
good.
of a I
See
got a
what
little
happened there?
oh, I just it was interesting because I normally don't get sunburned. I normally can be
Oh,
out all the time. So like there's no other part of me that's sunburned. Just that one part,
yes,
which is my heart, which was ironic because 2 days ago Nick goes, okay, what do you want? What are you asking the medicine to do to help you? I was doing the rapé session. And I said, I said to feel courageous and free to express my heart. And a lot of people around me would go, wait a second here. I thought you already were. And I think not, I think there's a part of me that it comes in layers. And there's been a part of me that still, didn't always say exactly what I wanted to say because I didn't want to hurt somebody. Um, and there's timing involved to it. Like I get there's a difference, like, but whether I say it or not, it's the way I felt about it. And so I asked to open up and express my heart, and then and it's
Mm-hmm.
the next morning actually happened. So because I don't get
Yes.
sunburned.
Isn't it amazing? See, it's amazing how
Oh,
my
I'm
body
sorry.
works.
For anybody who's listening to that, this is the heart.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So lungs, heart, lungs, heart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is what
Me,
spins the
mature.
blood to make it okay. And this is what spins the air to make it okay for us.
Yep. I've been feeling my jaw and my throat because I'm speaking more and more about my truth. And
Right.
yeah, I really struggle in there and, try to release all that and opening and closing my jaw and my mouth. And yeah, I am addicted to fascial maneuvers, but
Yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a good way.
yeah, we're addicted to everything as a species. That's not,
Yeah.
there's no question of whether it's good or bad. Where you're doing it, but if you take it, it's not fascial maneuver. You're just addicted to exploring the emotions and the feelings of your own body.
Yes.
Yeah, and you opened up and started to feel again for however long that you weren't feeling, don't even know.
Oh, yes, yeah. It was especially getting into the head here. I think that sort of just opened up.
Yeah.
Everything was so compressed, and then I started working here and opening, and then here for a while, actually, just like not curse, but these freaking fascial maneuvers because they open up all this tumor. But it's just all part of the healing process.
Yeah, yeah, and and like I'm taking the name fascial maneuvers out of what you're doing, and the reason why I'm doing that is because fascial maneuvers is not. I mean, it's just something I did to help myself, and
Yes,
but the truth behind it is I just moved like a kid. That's what it is. It's doing what kids do because kids
yes.
do all kinds of weird stuff to themselves anyways, so they can
Oh, yes.
experience. And as
Yeah,
adults are
because
like, I'm not going to pull my hair. I'm not going to pull my ears anymore. And kids are like, oh.
I know because they don't think they're not any ego and they don't chat. They don't care what other people think. And even sometimes still now, if I go and hug a tree, I look around, make sure nobody's there because I can probably call you a weirdo. But now I'm getting to the stage I don't care.
Yeah. So we got to finish our time here,
Yeah,
just here, but not our time together.
yeah, no, I
I
know.
can't wait to meet you in person, by the way. I'm
Oh,
looking.
yes, same.
So how old are you now?
62. 1962, but born and it's 62 years old. So again, it's like
Oh my gosh. 62.
especially.
Balance to your feelings to make a decision, which is a Grandmaster Capricorn step.
Yeah,
62
yeah.
is to decide.
Yeah, and that's it. And I have decided to just go home
Wow.
because
Wow. I mean, that makes us all even more honoring and special
yeah,
that I get to
yeah,
be a part of this part of your journey. So
yeah. And
go to 92 and talk to your 62-year-old self and tell your 62-year-old self something that you want yourself to learn in the past. I mean, you can talk to right now, you could talk to your 30-year-old self and you could say, this is what I want you to hear. So I want you to imagine you're going to 92 now and you're talking to the 62. That's another karmic cycle. And so people who don't know, Saturn is karma. So, so 30, 60, 90 are really big times for Capricorns. And you just went through that, by the way. The Cancer, the revelation all came right after 60 through that process.
Mhm.
So go to 92, 2 years after your next Saturn return, and talk to yourself here right now and use your name. Like, tell yourself what you would want yourself to know.
Okay. Ruth, trust in your heart. Do not be afraid of anything. Speak your truth no matter what. Even if people judge you, because a lot of people are afraid, and there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. And if these little whispers come in and these little nudges, yeah, you trust them. Because again, it brought you to where you are now, and so you were held so much in the past because you're afraid to being judged. And now look at you now at 92. You allowed your heart to open, and you gave a lot of people trust. Just gone out and shining their own light and being true to themselves. That's the main thing. Be true to yourself. Because we've all been so programmed. You've been told how to think, even how to feel, what's accepted and what's not. So do you. Keep doing you.
That's in so many ways, Ruth, that little exercise is what allowed me to transpose through the trauma that I had gone through and that I was going through. It's accepting myself from another place, and I believe that's the way to move through physical, emotional, or spiritual trauma of any kind. And the reason I asked you to do that is because that's what I did when I was the day that they arrested me. That's what I did. I went and said, okay, it's going to be 40 years until I see my children again. What do I say? And they have children who have children now. And I've not been a part of any part of their life. And I talked to myself through that, which is why I believe I'm standing here, sitting here in front of you right now. Because it could have gone two ways.
Yeah.
I got the better version of this, that's for sure. And talking to yourself that way is my gift to you.
Okay.
Because it took the extremity of the situation to do that. And somehow I knew how to do that. Somewhere in my consciousness, I knew how to pass through this moment. And you're going into a moment. I mean, you're going back to see family with intent. So, and my experience is that you're going back because part of the healing journey is really to go back and to be a part and see the transformation of the people how you affect the people in your life.
Yes.
And especially the people that were part of it themselves.
Yeah. See, again, I just realised not that long ago, it's 40 years since I left home. Again, 40 is a significant number.
It is. It's belonging. 40 years is belonging to equality, fairness, belonging. This is why 40 is like for male and female. You can see it. It's like I'm 40. And what do? They start to either they belong to being human in that journey or they don't. And you can see it at 40. 40 people radically shift. They start fighting or they start accepting. And it's 40 is belonging. So I feel complete now.
Yeah, me too.
And I feel like if there's anything that I can do, the things that I can do, not if there's anything I can do. I feel like the best way that I can prepare you for the journey is to give you the perspective that allows you to get through it, which is what you did. You talked to yourself.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you. You have no idea. Like I watch so many of the, even the reels and that when you do fascial maneuvers, partner ones, and tears just flow because it's like I think I'm right there as well.
Well, I mean, we're connected in a lot of ways, Ruth. I mean,
Mhm.
astrologically, and you see me work on my astrological twins.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
mhm. I know.
How somebody can look so much and act so much like me to the point it's
Yeah.
undeniable. I showed somebody, I'll just share that with you today. I showed somebody, a scientist, I showed him I said, I want to introduce you to my twin. And I showed them the picture and showed them all the similarities. And I said, it's undeniable that we're twins, right? And asked a scientist, a biologist. And he goes, yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how the architecture of life works. And I'm like, I wasn't setting him up, but I was in a way setting him up for the next part of the experience, which was we have different parents. Why is she so similar? And that's, that there's a part of you. I'm a Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aries. The ones that dominate me are Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, and Pisces. Those are the most dominant parts of who I am as a human being. And there
Mhm.
you are right alongside me. So
No, it's deeply connected. I mean,
yeah.
it has so many, again, we want to call them coincidences. I thought about somebody and next minute they call me or you get a text or something, and it's because thoughts again, because even thoughts are energy and they go out there.
Yeah.
Even all the way over to Switzerland, I just think about my sister or something. Next minute she calls, she's I'm just thinking about you, and
And
I
as
said, well, I am too.
and my what I'll tell you from my own experience is that the farther you go on this journey, the more that's going to happen to the point where I run into people every single day that are connected to me in that way.
Yeah.
And they're a part of my life in every single thing I do, whether it's a cab driver. And we put it on video just because it's like, what are the chances?
I
And
know,
it's so bizarre to watch me, and it's so cool to be a part of this part of the journey.
I know, and even over those last few weeks or months, like I'm not, you look at the time on your phone. It's been so many 11:11s, 12:12s, like so many. Like you cannot make this up. I'm not thinking, well, I want to see what the time is. Like you just want to see the time, and I press my phone and hear another one. And quite a few times I woke up at right at midnight, 00:07, 00:00:00, and I think, "Huh? Can't make this up."
Yeah, yeah, and
But again, it's accepting
and by
and
the way, for me, that's the fun part of life right now. It's like I'm like a little kid, like exploring and finding all the wild ways that the universe connects me to all these people and situations. I'm like, whoa, it is so cool. Like I'm full of life just looking at the connections. I do it all the time. I drive people here. I think I drive them crazy because I do it with every moment of my life. I'm
yeah,
so excited about being alive and being here
yes, yes,
that
same.
that
Even
I that I document every moment of it. And I'm like, yes, another one. Yes.
yes, because if life's worth living, it's also worth documenting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate you,
yes,
Ruth.
it's good. Yeah, I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for your time, Gary.
Yeah, and we'll
Absolutely lovely.
um, we'll uh we'll see you soon.
Yep, yeah.